Hey guys, so I'm going to be bringing you guys on to make an easy quick meal. I'm actually going to be making two meals, okay, but they're going to be both pretty much like the same. So I've seen this recipe on YouTube and it is called garlic parmesan chicken bombs, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me to make this meal and to see if it's really as good as it looks. And on top of that, I'm going to be making some chicken Alfredo as well, being that I am making pretty much like the Alfredo sauce to go with these garlic parmesan chicken balls. So are you guys excited as I am? Are you ready? Well, come along, let's go. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is start off with some clean chicken that I had just went ahead and I sliced really small. I'm gonna season this with some basic onion powder, garlic powder. I separated because I was gonna make two meals with one, so I just wanted to get an eyeball of how much chicken I have left. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with some garlic powder. Okay, you wanna season to your liking. I like to use a little bit of my seasoning. Can't go wrong with some garlic and onion powder. I feel that's like the base seasoning. I'm gonna use some less sodium Lorry's. Okay, and I always like to add salt to my food. You know what I'm trying to say, I'm seasoning. I need to know what I'm cooking. So I'm gonna go with some a little oregano. This is like my go-to season mix. And I'm seasoning my chicken and some black pepper. Okay, and I like to put a little bit of that. I'm gonna mix all this up because I'm not gonna keep it separate. Get a chance to mix it together. I'm gonna add some oil because this is what's gonna help combine the seasoning and keep the seasoning like stick to the chicken as well. I'm gonna go in with my hands. Go ahead and mix. Okay, I'm gonna get that mixed together good well. I'm gonna put this in a bowl, use this one to mix it, but I'm not trying to create a lot of dishes. Just so like I said, this is supposed to be an easy meal. Okay, so less dishes that we have to wash, and the less stuff that we have to go, we're gonna make this an easy, quick meal to put together. Okay, got that nice and fluid. Okay, so like every piece is well seasoned. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands clean, and then we're gonna move to the next step. Okay. All right, so we went ahead and we added our chicken to our pan. I did put a little olive oil, you know, to baste the pan, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna let that cook down. Okay, and then we will be back with the next step. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with the next step, and the next step is we're gonna take the chicken out of this pan and we're gonna place it into the bowl. Okay, so to the pan that we started that we cooked our chicken in, we're just gonna take just a little bit of butter, okay? Because I still have some oil here from cooking off the chicken. So guys, keep in mind that when I took the chicken out, I tried not to bring no oil into that bowl, because when we get to putting this together, we don't want our chicken to be oily. So we just put our chicken to the side in a bowl, and we're gonna kind of let this cool down, okay? Now to this pan, I am going to add one thing. I have some fresh chopped garlic, which I want to say is about, it's one bulb of garlic that I did, okay? I did a whole bulb. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let that cook until we start to smell that flavor. We don't want our garlic to burn. We don't want burnt garlic. Okay, we want it to be nice and flavorful. Let all that oil come out of the garlic. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. Okay, and while that's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and take out my So these are the biscuits that I'm going to be using to make the balls. I'm going to take them out so they can kind of cool. They can kind of come to room temperature. I'm going to give my heavy cream a good shaking. Because remember what I said, we don't want our our garlic to burn, guys. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep stirring that. So mind you, I'm going to be using most of this because keep in mind I told you that I'm going to be making chicken Alfredo as well, okay? So we're going to go ahead, and I need to make enough sauce because I have to be able to keep my pasta saucy. Okay, so I went ahead and used a whole quart of heavy whipping cream, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and let that cook off. It's gonna pick up all the flavors from me cooking the chicken in this pan, and just gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. To this, oh, I did mess up. So to this, I am gonna add some chopped up, I have about a half of cream cheese. I do add cream cheese to my Alfredo. It just gives it a more creamy taste. I was supposed to, before I put the heavy whipping cream on, I do this with the broccoli in the pan, and I totally forgot. So we're gonna try to get this to melt down in here, and I like to kind of melt this down before I add my heavy whipping cream so it's easy to see, and I have made a mess. No biggie. We're gonna take our rag and we're just gonna wipe up. Okay, clean as you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let this do its thing for a few minutes, but you just want to stay on top of it because it will stick. I did turn the fire down, so I started on the medium heat. I turned it down to about like 4, so that's about like halfway. Don't know how, you know, your stove works. So go ahead and let this heavy cream and cream cheese just kind of like work its magic before I add the cheese to it. Add some Parmesan cheese to thicken it up, but not at this very second. We won't. I'm almost done with this, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean up, and I'll be back with the next step. All right, so we pretty much got our sauce cooking. The cream cheese is pretty much melting. I did have that out beforehand, so it kind of softened, so it kind of made this process a little easier to melt. But like I said, I do like to put this in the cream cheese in with the butter and the garlic before I add the heavy whipping cream, just so I can kind of really see it. So now I'm just going through, just making sure that all my cream cheese is kind of softened and it's melting down, because you don't want to have like bites of cream cheese in your sauce when you're eating. So after we go ahead and we get that pretty much cooked down, just going through finding, you know, any big chunks that I have and just making sure that it's kind of like spread out smooth. So you want a nice creamy Parmesan sauce, okay? Alfredo sauce. So if I was just doing these Parmesan chicken, garlic Parmesan chicken bombs, I would not have to had used all of this sauce. But like I said, I am making pasta as well, so I figured I would just use my pasta, you know, this sauce to go ahead and make my Alfredo. So that's pretty much good. So what I'm gonna do is take some shredded Parmesan and we're gonna add that to the sauce, because this is gonna help it come nice and thick. Okay. You do yours to the liking. I don't measure how much cheese I put in. I pretty much go based off of the look of my sauce once it starts to thicken up. Is it thick enough? Is it too thin? Because I don't want it too runny. I like for it to stick to my pasta. And I think a little bit more, because I do have to keep some for when I put the bombs together. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix that up, and we're gonna continue to let our sauce do its thing. Like I said, I did turn the heat down on this because I didn't want it to cook too fast. But I think I'm gonna raise the temperature again just so I can kind of get it to kind of boil. I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt and pepper to my Alfredo. Every layer of the dish has to have flavor. And I'm gonna add some paprika as well for color, not for flavor, just for color. You can add some Cajun seasoning if you would like. I think that would be good. That would give it color and also flavor if that's, you know, where you want to go with it. But I'm not. I just want my Alfredo just to have some color. And we're gonna go ahead and let it do its thing. I can see all the cheese in here and it's melting. After this cooks up, and you want to keep slowly stirring because you don't want it to spill, but you want everything to kind of just come together. So now if I was just doing just a basic chicken Alfredo pasta, I would just add my chicken to this and just let it come to a boil and just simmer together so it gets the flavor of the chicken, and the chicken, you know, draws in all the flavor from the Alfredo. And we're just gonna come and let that come together and do its thing. And we'll be back. Okay, so I just want to show you guys, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the sauce and I'm gonna put it to the side because I'm gonna need this to finish off my my bombs, okay? So just need just a little bit, I don't need a lot of sauce, just a little. I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side, okay? And this is gonna be the rest of my sauce that I'm gonna have for my Alfredo. And it's gonna continue to do its thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and just add the rest of this chicken to it. Get all the chicken and all the juices that's at, and just the bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and let this continue to simmer, and that's gonna be, you know, so I'm doing the chicken bomb just as a taste test because it looked good, and I just want to see if it's something that I can add to, you know, something that I can make. It's quick. The chicken bombs is actually a quick thing that you can do on any weekday, you know, the work, you don't feel like cooking. You got some chicken, you have the ingredients in the fridge, but I'm gonna go ahead and sample it to tell you if it's worth it, okay? If it tastes as good as it looked. I'm gonna put that on simmer, like I said, I'm gonna let that continue to go, and that's gonna be for my dinner. Okay, and that's the end of the Alfredo, of the Parmesan sauce rather. Now it's becoming Alfredo sauce. Okay, and we're gonna get into the next step. All right, guys. So here I have the chicken that I separated from the other thing, from the original pan that I had made, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna break this up just a little bit, you know, just so we can make sure that it's nice and broken up and it's like tiny pieces. And I don't think you have to do like each piece individually broken up, but just enough. Okay, now let the chicken cool so it's not too hot. All right, and then to this chicken, we're gonna add a half of cream cheese, a half of stick of cream cheese block. Try to let that get as soft as it could possibly get. So let that come to one together. Okay. And go ahead and try to mix that up. I'm going to make sure that your cream cheese is nice and soft. Okay? It makes the mix in nice and easy. I'm gonna lose no piece of chicken. We need every piece of chicken that's in this bowl. Okay, like I told you guys, this isn't a recipe that I came up with. I actually seen this on YouTube. The channel was Cooking with Tammy, I think it's called. I can't remember the exact channel. But when I seen the recipe, I'm like, oh, that looks so good. I'm like, I'm gonna try that. So here it is, me giving it a test. I'm gonna add some freshly grated mozzarella cheese to this, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get that all mixed up. I probably should have used a bigger bowl to get that mixture going. My bowl is too small, but I'm not gonna make any more dishes. And we're just gonna keep mixing that until we get that mixed good and well, okay? Don't be like me, guys. Use a bigger bowl. think we can use a little more cheese. Okay. And get that mixed all good and well. And make sure everything that's at the bottom is, you know, coated with this sauce as well, with this cheese, cream cheese filling. Okay, I actually think that's pretty good. Looks like it's all mixed. Everything is worked in well together. So it kind of looks like this. See? A little bit of cheese and stuff right there. I'm gonna go ahead and use some graham biscuits. Okay, so you get 8 biscuits, and we're gonna go ahead and put this on our baking sheet. And I'm gonna show you how to put this together. I'm probably gonna do 1, 2 on camera just to show you, and then fast forward the rest. And then we'll be back with the finished result. So, get a total of 8 biscuits here. So we kind of want to work this out. Need a spoon. I got a tablespoon, okay? So kind of what you want to do is you want to take your mixture, okay? And then we're going to fold it over like this, okay? So make sure your mixture has enough, make sure your biscuit has enough filling in the inside. I have butter tasting. You can use regular. I don't know what made me get butter tasting, but we want to bring all our dough over. Make sure it's nicely sealed, okay? Nice and sealed. To get that going. So it should kind of look like this, right? Once you get it over, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it into a bowl, okay? And place it down. And we're gonna move over to the next one. Again, we want to stretch out our biscuit dough just to make it a little flat, and it's good that it gets stretched out so you have enough space to, you have enough room to pull. About a teaspoon of mixture, and again, we just want to come up on each side, come up until we have it nice and closed. Okay, you can see. Hope you guys can see. All right, go up, up. Keep pulling it up until it's nice and sealed, like this. Nice and sealed. Then we're gonna put it sealed side down into our baking dish. Okay, right here I just have a cookie sheet lined, and I'm gonna go ahead and do another one to make sure that everyone got a visual of what we want to do. Okay, so we're gonna make our biscuit nice and flat. About a tablespoon, I'm sorry, of our chicken, cream cheese, and mozzarella cheese mixture. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull our biscuit dough up. Pull it up. Okay. Then we got him nice and sealed. Okay. Close it. Roll it. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these finished, and I'll be back with the next step. All right, guys. So we're ready to move on to the next step, and the next step is I have some melted butter here. I'm going to add some of this garlic paste. Okay, this is going to give this some good garlic flavor. I have some freshly chopped parsley, and I'm going to give that a mix. Okay, and mix that up good and well. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to brush these with our garlic butter sauce. Okay, we want to make sure that we get them nice and covered. That's where the browning is going to come in at. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to cook this. You're going to follow the cooking directions for whatever brand of biscuit you have. Mine is cooked on 350 for about, I want to say, 17 minutes. Just double check. But you want to follow the directions for your biscuits, whatever brand you decided to use. Okay, what I have left, we're gonna use to brush the chicken bombs when they come out. So we're gonna go ahead. I have my oven preheated already at 350, and we're gonna bake these. And when I'll be back, we should have a finished product. All right, guys. So it is finally done. I'm just gonna go ahead and brush this some more with some butter. My butter hardened, so I need to throw this in the mic for like a few seconds just to melt this butter off. I should have left it on the stove while we waited for it to be done. About 30 seconds if necessary. Here we go. About 30 seconds is all we needed just to get that butter to soften back up. And we're gonna go ahead and brush these again with some butter. And let these cool off before we give these a taste test. Because these Jones is going to be hot. But they smell so good. This took, so my biscuit instructions was 12 to 16 minutes. This cooked in an oven, I want to say about 30 minutes, okay? About 30 minutes is what it took. So it was actually a little longer than the instructions that the biscuit container gave. All right. Now we're gonna just let those sit because it has to cool off, and I'll be back in a second.